YouTube? This is Vargas, and we're almost done with the year. I'm hoping I'll be able to upload this video before New Year's. So if I do that, Happy New Year's! 2019 is done, and we're going to start 2020. Can't believe we're going to reach 2020. But I try, for the most part. I think I've been consistent with it. I try to do a top 10 best movies that I've seen in the theater, but wow, I have not been able to get to the theater that much, if at all. I have been lucky enough to see some movies, but not enough to do a top 10, unfortunately. So I'm just going to talk about the movies that I've seen in 2019 in the theater, and with one exception, which is one that I want to talk about extra. So, one of the first movies that I went to see in the theater is Captain Marvel, the first Marvel movie that we got this year, with Brie Larson as the titular Captain Marvel. And I thought it was okay. The CGI with Samuel L. Jackson was well done. They kind of aged him, de-aged him, which is a technique that's gotten really good at. They're able to take older actors and turn them young. As far as origin stories, it's okay. It's okay. They introduced the Kree into the Marvel universe and introduced Captain Marvel, which in her own movie seemed really, really overpowered. But it's fine. I wouldn't have put this one in my top 10 movies, because it's okay, but it kind of felt too... they were really, really pushing Captain Marvel to be the next big thing, and I don't know, it didn't feel like it was earned. After that, I didn't see anything of what I wanted to see until we got to Avengers Endgame. This is the conclusion to the big Marvel arc that started since Iron Man, and then Avengers when they introduced Thanos. If you're a Marvel fan and the way that the movies were building up, Thanos was going to be like the big, big bad, like the end all to all, the villains that they were introduced. And because it's based on the Infinity Gauntlet, which is my favorite Marvel event, where Thanos gets the 6 Infinity Stones and just produces chaos, and with a snap, it eliminates half of the population of the universe. And everything was building up to that, and Infinity War came out, and it was great. A great movie. I loved Infinity War. And it leaves in a cliffhanger, because in that one, he does the snap and wipes out half of all life on the universe. So this one left on a cliffhanger. Captain Marvel takes place before the snap, so it doesn't really give any resolution. And Tony Stark was left in space, and the trailers make it look really bleak. And it was good. I liked Endgame. It did feel like a good cap to the whole thing, which leaves me kind of wary on what they're going to do now, because it was building up for 10 years, building up to this point, Infinity War and then Endgame. And it was good because I like time travel. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm a huge sucker and a huge mark for time travel stories. So I liked that they went back in time and tried to get the Infinity Stones, because Thanos destroys them, and which opens up a whole bunch of plot holes. Because how did Captain America go back in time? Because the moment he went back in time and stayed in the past, that would have opened up a different timeline, so it would not have allowed him to enter this. Makes no sense. There's a lot of plot holes in that one. But I liked Infinity War more than Endgame, but Endgame still gave that payoff. It gave like a conclusion to the 10-year arc. So I liked it. If I would have seen more movies, that would have been my number 2. Then what did I see after that? I'm looking at Wikipedia. I didn't see Detective Pikachu. I would have loved to see Detective Pikachu. Didn't see John Wick, which I wanted to see. Didn't see Brightburn, the evil Superman. And then we got to what would definitely be my number one. This Godzilla King of the Monsters. I loved this movie. It definitely would have been my number one if I would have done a top 10 list. Was so hyped for this movie. I'm a big Godzilla fan. You know me. Really looking forward to this because this is the lead up to Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong. I don't know what they're gonna do. I liked the first one, the first Godzilla. Uh, the only thing I didn't like about that one is that they focused more on the humans than the monsters. In this one, they kind of got it right because they did focus on the monsters a bit more than the humans, but they still had too many human moments for my like. It should still be about the monsters, little bit less, but it felt a little bit more balanced, more balance between the humans and the monsters. I would still like to see more monsters than humans, but this one kind of felt like they were almost getting there between screen time between the humans and the monsters. Still felt more human than monsters, but it was still amazing. I still loved seeing King Ghidorah in the movie, and they did him well. He looked imposing. There's some beautiful shots where Ghidorah's like silhouette in thunder, and then there's this really cool one where he's like in a volcano, and he looks like the freaking devil, and there's a cross there. Great, great visuals. They focus more on again on the monsters, where they actually show the fights, which is something that I was really worried about. That they would cut away from the fights like they did in the first one. They don't do that in this one. They actually show the fights more. And you got Mothra, you got Rodan, you got Godzilla, you got King Ghidorah. They introduced a giant spider like in the old movies. They have like this woolly mammoth looking thing. They introduce a whole bunch of different characters, and at the end, Godzilla is the king of the monsters. So that sets up, uh, what's going to happen somehow between Kong and Godzilla, and I'm super hyped about that one. I want to see King Kong versus Godzilla now, but Godzilla King of the Monsters would be my number one movie had I seen it. Didn't see X Men Dark Phoenix, which I really wanted to see. Um, saw Toy Story 4. Totally unnecessary sequel. I felt that Toy Story 3 was the end cap to the Toy Story saga. That's it. That's the end. They're fine. They left Andy. They're with Bonnie now. Done. The Toy Story shorts they released. Okay, they're revisiting the characters, little chunks. Fine with that. Toy Story 4 felt unnecessary. I went to see it because my kids wanted to see it. I was not looking forward to seeing it, and it just felt a little bit more like the same. It actually hurt some characters because they made Buzz Lightyear an idiot in this movie. Uh, Basically, it was just a send off to Woody because they touch upon the same beats as the first one, where Bonnie, the kid that takes care of the toys, makes a fork into a toy, and the fork's like, "I'm not a toy, I'm garbage." And Woody's trying to get him to realize that he's a toy and he's important, like he did with Buzz Lightyear. Just touches upon a lot of the same beats that the other movies did. So totally unnecessary sequel. The animation was good, and it has some good moments, but they could totally have done without a Toy Story 4. Didn't see Annabelle. Didn't see Spider-Man. I eventually did see Spider-Man Far From Home, but not in the theater. I liked it. It was okay. It was a good follow-up to Homecoming. Mysterio I thought was really cool. It does leave in a big plot, big cliffhanger. Uh, and it does follow up the events of Endgame, where Tony Stark died. So the world's trying to adapt to not having Iron Man, and Spider-Man feeling like he has to be the next Iron Man instead of being just Spider-Man. He does a stupid decision in the movie which I'm not going to spoil if you haven't seen it. So there's a lot of good visuals. There's a lot of good character moments. There's a really stupid moment that Peter Parker does, which comes back to bite him in the ass in a big way. And I hope that Marvel and Sony get their differences out of the way, because I would like to see how that plays into a possible third one. Didn't see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I wanted to see that one. Didn't see it. Didn't see the Fast and the Furious movie. Uh, wow, I didn't see a lot of stuff. Uh, I wanted to see Ready or Not. Did not get a chance to see that one. Uh, It Chapter 2. Did not get a chance to see that one. Yeah, I didn't see anything. My wife wanted to see Downtown Abbey. We didn't see that one. I want to see Rambo Last Blood. Nope. Did not get to see that one. Saw Joker. Great movie. I loved seeing Joker. That would be my number 2 with Endgame. I think I said Endgame was my number 3. Definitely strong contender for number 1 if just Godzilla didn't feel bigger. But I don't know. I could go 1 or 2 with Joker because I love Joker. But I would still probably put Godzilla as my number 1 because that was really amazing. And Joker it would be like 1.5. But I would put it like that because great performance by Joaquin Phoenix. My goodness, was that good. And the movie always keeps you like second guessing what's going on. Like, is he, related to Bruce Wayne? Is his mom crazy? Is Thomas Wayne an asshole and just used his money to get Joker's mom to sign a couple of documents so he doesn't get into any trouble with his wife? Just really makes you think. I want to buy it on home media because I want to watch it again. I really want to dissect it a little bit more because I like doing that. I like seeing the movie the first time just to live the experience, and then the second time to really dissect all the little things in the movie. If I watch Godzilla and Joker, I might flip them, but right now Godzilla is my number 1 and Joker is my 1.5. We're number 2 and Endgame is my number 3. Actually, no, I take it back. Endgame's my number 4. I'm gonna mention why. Great movie. My God, Joker was so good. Really was. Didn't see Zombieland Double Tap. Wanted to see that one. Didn't get to see it. Didn't see Terminator Dark Fate. I was interested in that one, but didn't get to see it. One that would be my new number 3, leaving Endgame in part. Actually, no, I'm going to put Endgame as 5 because I'm still thinking of another movie. So I'll do one I didn't see in the theater. It was released theatrically, but I saw it on Netflix. Was The Irishman. Great movie. Love this movie. This movie was really good. A lot of people are turned off by the 3.5 hour long runtime. I've seen it twice. I've seen this movie twice, and I love it. They even released a little half an hour segment where Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, and Al Pacino are just talking about the movie. I've seen that twice. Amazing performances by Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, all the supporting cast. Great direction. On the second viewing, there's a couple of things that might have cut down to reduce the runtime. Like anything with the Peggy character, she felt like such a wet blanket and so judgmental about what her dad was doing. Like, okay, yes, he's not doing good things. Fine, but every scene with her just like... Again, everything that Robert De Niro does in the movie is bad. He's not a good character. He's loyal and he does what he's told, and he's killing people and doing bad things. But I don't know, the Peggy character just really got on my nerves, and maybe they could have cut down parts with her. So I love The Irishman. I didn't get to see Doctor Sleep, which is the sequel to The Shining. Would have loved to seen it. Wow, I didn't see any. I saw Frozen 2. Frozen 2 is pretty good. The songs aren't as memorable as the first one. The first one has really memorable songs. This one has two memorable songs, but the animation is beautiful. Unlike Toy Story 4, this sequel actually feels merited. And a lot of people are down on Frozen. It's not as beloved as it was the first one, because the first one universally loved. Then they released the Summer Sniffles, Summer Fever, something like that, Frozen Fever. That was well received. Then everyone hated Olaf's Christmas story thing that came before Coco. Everyone hated that one, and I don't know why. I liked it. And Frozen 2, I haven't seen many reviews on it. I don't know how well it did, but I liked it. My daughter liked it. My wife liked it. Even my son, we took our son, and he was entertained by the visuals. And the visuals are amazing. Great merited sequel, unlike Toy Story 4. So I like that. Frozen 2, I thought that was pretty good. Didn't get to see Knives Out, movie me and the wife wanted to see. Didn't get a chance to see it. Didn't get to see Jumanji. Would have liked to see that one. And the last movie that we saw was Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which I did a almost half an hour long video review on, which I like it. So I don't think that's even 10 movies that I saw in the theater, and I only saw two. The Irishman on Netflix and Far From Home on Roku, because they have it here with my parents-in-law, which is where I saw Spider-Man Far From Home. So yeah, not a lot of movies to see. Doing a top 5, Godzilla, King of the Monsters is my number 1. I thought it would be Joker, honestly, but Godzilla's just feels bigger, and I'm still hyped for Kong vs. Godzilla. So that's my number 1. Joker is 2, edging on 1.5, because I love that movie. That movie was so good. So, but I'll put it in my number 2, my number 2 slot if I have to like categorize them. Number 3 would definitely be The Irishman. Again, don't let the runtime dissuade you. So good. Number 4 would be The Rise of Skywalker, and number 5 would be Endgame. Because again, I liked Infinity War a lot more than I liked Endgame. So yeah, those would be my top 5 movies of 2019. With Frozen being number 6, and oh man, I just did the list and I blanked out. But yeah, that would be my best movies of 2019. I'm not gonna lie, really disappointed that I didn't get to see a bunch of movies, but I'm grateful that I did get to see the main ones, which were Godzilla, Joker, Star Wars, Endgame, and yeah. So if you have a chance, if you haven't seen any of those movies, watch them. I highly recommend you watch at least the top 5. Frozen 2 is really good. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and until I see you all again, Happy New Year, Happy 2020. We made it to 2020. Hard to believe we made it to 2020. But until I see you all again, and expect hopefully new things from the channel. Have a good one, guys, and see you next year.